Hi guys, this is Jacob Edwards. I was part of the autism research team, and I've got to do my slide presentation a little bit different because I can't get any of my voiceovers to convert to MP3 and load up to Google Drive, so I can just do the individual slides. So you'll see on the first slide it says click link below for slide presentation video. It'll be to my YouTube channel. It's the only way I could think of, and I talked to our team leader this morning about it, just doing this as a fail-safe, so let's get started. My tasks were doing the analysis of primary and secondary sources, and we're going to start with one of the secondaries here, which was the New Albany-Floyd County School System's autism team. And according to their website, which is www.nafcs.k12.in.us, you follow the prompts, and they got a few resources for parents and teachers of children with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. And it's a multidisciplinary team of teachers, therapists, and psychiatrists. Some of our other secondary sources were magazines, websites, all kinds of different criteria ranging from education funding to sensory tools and strategies for teachers and parents. Some even cover social skills that the rest of us take for granted, like driver's education and being able to build a career. And Harkla, their website, provides several of those, as well as public school reviews by Grace Chen, the Hayes Group, Indiana Autism Alliance, and student training and education services. The autism team, some of this got a little personal for me because I've got a few cousins that are autistic, and I haven't got to see Floyd counties in action, but I speculated and hoped that they'd operate on a level that is somewhat part of Corden, which is Harrison County, because they did a really phenomenal job with my cousin Caitlin, who has ASD. However, after talking to my Aunt Julia, it's not the case. Floyd is far behind Corden, and Lanesville has absolutely nothing, which is why Caitlin had to go to Corden instead of Lanesville, where they live at. The autism team website with New Albany-Floyd County School Systems was very vague. I mean, just basically said there's stuff there for parents and teachers, and that was it. They gave no explanations of anything. They do have some autism courses, but they're nowhere near what they should be, and it's never enough in my opinion. Again, this goes back to the interview with my Aunt Julia. They transferred Caitlin from Lanesville to Corden because there was nothing in Lanesville. And Corden has a great system, but they still only have programs from kindergarten to 5th grade, and then from 9th to 12th, but there's nothing in middle school age from grade 6 to 12. And once again, talking to my Aunt Julia, Blue River Services is a great resource for different programs and funding for ASD and some of the other disabilities. And the link is right there. And this is my opinion. We can never raise enough awareness for ASD, ADD, ADHD, or any other disability. And I hate calling it a disability because I feel I'm being judgmental. And as my aunt told me, funding and education are decided by parents of rich kids, so they get to choose whether it's a golf team or a chess team or anything like that for their kids, but they don't want to deal with anything on funding for autism or anything like that. And we're all different, and nobody should be treated any differently. It's because we're all individuals. My final thoughts on that: do you know somebody with autism? How are they treated in school, in the public, by your own family? And are they getting the care and education they need? Here's the original video that I made for this, which I go in a little bit more in depth with what I talked to my aunt about and how vague the New Albany website, was. Now, our other primary source was our 9-question questionnaires that we made up as a team. And as of last Wednesday, we only had 3 filled out, and I said, that's not enough data. And I talked to Emily, our team lead, and I said, can I print some of these out and take them elsewhere to get these things filled out? And she goes, absolutely, knock yourself out. And by the time it was over with, I had a total of 12. And it really astonished me how many people didn't know anything about autism, or really didn't care, or felt that they didn't even know enough about it to fill a 9-question questionnaire out that's basically based on your own opinion. But 12 wasn't nearly as many as I wanted, but it was better than what we had. Here's some of those percentages. And these graphs may look a little bit different than the ones that are in the report we filled out, but Google Slides wouldn't let me copy and paste those and do that. But the first question was, how many resources are available at Floyd County Public Schools for autistic programs? And the answers you could choose from were 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, and a couple people added another answer and said unknown because they really didn't know. So the biggest percentage was 3 to 4, and I'm not really sure what the statistic is on that. But nobody thought 6 to 7 or 7 to 8. Do you know a child in Floyd Knobs Elementary School with autism? And I think it was 75% said no, and 3 out of the 12 said yes. Our next questions were, what training should be required of teachers and aides in schools? Circle all that apply. And 100% of everybody, all 12 people, said anxiety training, which I concur with that, being somebody who has anxiety and depression myself. And the rest of them were fairly high as well. I don't remember the exact percentage, but it was like 83 and 91% respectively between social disorders and autism. And family counseling was fairly low, but in talking to my neighbor Alan, he said in his opinion they need to train parents and family members a whole lot more, and I do agree with him. Our fourth question was, how much funding is needed per school year to operate autistic programs at Floyd Elementary School? Circle 1. And my opinion, this one right here is the only one that mattered, because once again, it's never enough. 30,000 plus, and I think it was 66% felt the same way, and it was like 16% on each one of the 10,000 or the 20,000 graphs. But thankfully, nobody said under 10,000. The fifth question, we're about halfway through this questionnaire. What services should be provided for autistic children? Circle all that apply. Comm rooms, personal aids, tablets, resource teachers, no resources. Thankfully, that one was 0. Everybody had a little bit of a heart on this. As you can see, everything else is pretty well straight across the board. Tablets was a little bit lower, and that can be a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, visual aids, I know that autistic children need to see it, and they need to be hands-on to learn it. I've seen it with 2 or 3 of my cousins. 75% of people thought that. I think it was 81% or 83% and 91% felt that comm rooms and personal aids and resource teachers were very important, which they are. I've seen what happens when they are involved, and it works wonders. How many teachers and aides should be added to staff? Circle 1. Well, thankfully nobody said 0. 1 to 2 took 25%. 2 to 3, I think it was 33%. It was only 8% of the people said that they were either unsure or 4 to 5 should be added. And 25 again was 5+. What is the best action we can take to bring the issue to the attention of the school? And I'm sorry if you hear my dogs barking in the back. There's probably a deer down at the creek or something. Circle all that apply. Well, 50% of people thought a petition was a good idea. I think it was 33% was for a memo. 83% felt that a formal letter was a good idea. And this kind of blew my mind that people had more faith in congressmen than they do advocacy groups, especially in the light of the recent election. And I do believe, yep, this is our final slide here. Were you aware of this issue before answering this questionnaire? And thankfully, and I'm not bashing the one person that said they weren't aware of it. We all learn something new every day, but the vast majority, 11 out of 12 people surveyed, felt that, yes, they knew about this issue. And this one was a touchy subject, I realized when I was doing these questionnaires in the field. But some people like to keep it private. It's between them and God on how much they donate and where. But 41% said 10 to 50 bucks is what they'd be comfortable donating. I think it was 16% or 17% said 50 to 100. Nobody was comfortable with 100 to 200 plus. And 41.6% said not at this time, or basically it's none of your business. So I'm sorry if I bored you all to death with the sound of my monotonous voice, but hopefully this was some good information for you. And for the 3 people from the school that filled out the questionnaires, thank you for doing that. We appreciate the help.